joining us on 710 KURV, one of the nation's most respected physical therapists, founder of Interactive Concussion Therapy. And did I get that right, Doctor? That's up in Dallas. Dr. Sally Fryer-Dietz joining us on the morning news. Give me the name of your clinic. I'm sorry, I think I messed that one up.
That's okay. It's integrative.
I'm sorry.
Therapy.
Yeah, put your glasses on.
There's so many things that you use together to treat concussion.
Hey, I need to ask you though, because we were talking a little bit about this yesterday on the morning show. It's a lot of brains that were donated by families, former NFL players. But was there a control study that compared non-NFL to NFL? Because I'm talking about a majority of these brains showed damage, but what about just regular people at the end of life? Is there any way to compare?
Well, I think that's something that needs to happen, and even the researchers will tell you that themselves. But this is a good start. If you take a large selection of brains with a similar history and they all show the same thing, then you need to look at that seriously, and you continue to delve deeper into, what else is going on and compare it to a much wider range of samples. Not everybody wants to just donate their loved one's brain to science, and these families are certainly concerned, and there's been so much awareness and concern about it that they're more likely to do that in this particular group.
Understood.
But it does highlight.
Yes, ma'am. Because see, that in itself, there is a bias in this study. Somebody could make an argument for that. Say, well, these families had more concern than others, and they were all NFL players. It's skewed in too much in one direction, and there is no control study to show what happens to the human brain throughout life. And we might see similar. Do you suspect we might see similar indications at end of life for all donated brains?
I think they're going to continue to study this, and they're going to look at a wider sample of brains. It doesn't mean that this was not a good study. This is a great start, and it's something that we've known and suspected, certainly with increased awareness over the last 5 to 10 years. So, we're at the very beginning of learning more about this, and it's a good place to start.
From Integrative Concussion Therapy in North Texas, Dr. Sally Fryer-Dietz, our guest on 710 KURV.
Dr. Dietz, Tim Sullivan here, and regarding the brains of these NFLers, and this figure of 99% of the brains donated showed signs of neurodegenerative disease. That's nuts. That's really, really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty staggering. We have been involved with a study for the last couple of years looking at treatments for these guys, which is kind of a nicer way to do it when you're still alive. There's some hope that you can improve the quality of your life. And we've got some exciting things that seem to be coming from that, looking at different treatments that really can be helpful.
Yeah, because I would guess that a lot of recently retired NFLers might be feeling a little anxious or, not, I don't know. I'm sure.
Well, I think anybody who has led a life that has been riddled with injury of any kind, at some point that catches up to you and you become more aware of it. And, this really, for me, highlights the importance of spending just as much time figuring out what are the treatments that are really going to help more than anything, and having those available. And certainly that's been my experience in working with these guys, is that they want somebody to help them.
Yep.
They're really looking for some kind of treatment to improve their quality of life.
Well, is this a recent thing? Because pro football players are hitting each other harder these days, or has this always been around and just kind of not talked about?
Well, you think about it, just in the history of, certainly in my lifetime, when you got a concussion, it was just, you got your bell rung, or was,
right.
It was kind of almost like a badge of, of honor. You get knocked out. And we know now, really, especially even with kids, when you have multiple concussions, what it can do, the impact it can have on learning and behavior and moods and lots of things. So it's always been around. I just think we have way more awareness of it. Statistically, you can look at the statistics, and just over the past 10 years, the rate of concussion seems to have gone up 50%. And I'm not sure if that's, those are reported concussions, so it's probably more from the awareness of people actually getting a concussion and then, seeking out some kind of help for it.
Okay. And you on the front lines and dealing with concussion therapy, outside of converting the NFL into flag football, I mean, what would you suggest? What changes would you suggest?
Well, I think, for whatever sport and whatever age is being played, awareness is number one. And if you're going to, you want to set players up for success, so you want to be as coordinated and in as good a shape as possible when they go onto the field. And then if there's an injury, to identify it at that time and pull them out of the game, and then not allowing them to get back into the game until they are totally healed. 10-4.
Thank you, Dr. Dietz. From Integrative Concussion Therapy North Texas, Dr. Sally Fryer Dietz joining us on 710 KQRV.